All right, everybody, we are live because that's how we like to do things here on the Lights Out Sports Podcast. It's myself, Mike Valentine. It is Cheese right there. We are going to react to that's the guy right there pointing to himself because he's so humble. So we are going to we're going to react to Ohio State, Michigan, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the rest of the landscape in college football right now, but mostly Ohio State, Michigan. So, Cheese, did you watch every snap of this game, buddy?
I sure did.
Yeah, I did too. I had a couple things I had to do. I ran a little behind, but I don't know about you. I almost hate to watch sports live because it's just like, oh my gosh, come back from commercial, come back from commercial. Come on. I got more stuff I got to do. So I was a little behind. I was able to fast forward through the commercials and things and catch up by halftime. I got a whole bunch of notes over here. I know, we were talking off air and these instant reactions you don't really take notes on. I've not done an instant reaction to anything like what you have. This will be a first for me.
Okay.
So everybody kind of bear with me as we go through some things. We will ask some questions, hopefully about 30 minutes or so. And then I have also invited a few guests. I did it like right towards the end, so I don't know if any of them will come on with us or not, but we will see as everything unfolds. Geez, here's my first question for you. I got worried in the beginning, being an Ohio State fan, the way that game started out, right? They scored, then they threw the interception, they kicked a second field goal. So I wrote on my notes here, don't pay attention to the first 15 plays. They are scripted. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, Michigan came out. They got a 36-yard run right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
And they needed that. That's one thing Michigan had to do. They had to get big plays because Ohio State was going to get some. But they only got 3 points out of it. And so when you give up a big play in Ohio State territory right away and then come up with 3 points, I think that was, win for Ohio State. You salvaged that drive, only give up 3 points. So even though that, wasn't great, I believe it was 6-0, right?
Yeah, it was 6-0 because of the interception.
Because the interception, yeah. So it was 6-0, but it was only 6-0. So
right.
Ohio
State
State
much worse.
It could have been way worse, but Ohio State's defense, we'll talk about them more, but it was incredible.
Right. So they get the field goal. They go up 3-0. Then saying he tries to do, and I want to get your take on this because I'm sure you'll remember it. I wrote some specific stuff down because you're the big guru. You talk about all the draft picks over on your channel, which is, let's plug it pretty much right away, sir. What you got?
It's at Football with Cheese, CHEEZ. So yeah, just subscribe, hit the bell, and anything big happens in football, I will do an instant reaction like this. So make sure you subscribe.
Fantastic. Almost 50 people already. We've only been going for less than 3 minutes. So Sayan tries to do a back shoulder throw to his receiver, but Hill knows, Hill being the defensive back, he knows he has help over the top. So he basically undercuts it and goes in between the receiver and the quarterback. And that's how he gets that pickoff play. When you see a defensive back do something like that, by the way was extremely smart and a well-designed defense like that, does that pique your interest as far as a draft pick goes? Does that raise him up on your board? How does that work with you and the notes that you take?
Well, what it shows me, he's got good instincts. He's got good awareness. And absolutely that can help because it doesn't matter what your 40 is, whatever. If you have terrible instincts, you're never going to hit your ceiling. It doesn't matter how athletic or fast you are. And it was just a great play. And Julian saying it was like he decided to throw it there before the ball was snapped, and you should never do that. Having said that, the rest of the game, he was amazing. Like that was his only mistake. He was amazing. But yeah, it was a really good play by Hill.
And I think, like we said on the Lights Out Sports podcast earlier this week, when Ohio State got beat by Michigan, it woke them up. I almost kind of think when Sayan threw that interception, it kind of woke him up, right? He was like, oh, well, this is going to be, maybe it's a tougher game than he thought it was going to be. Maybe he needed to do what you said, not just throw the ball out there. He needs to, look at things a little bit better before he does stuff. And like you said, he was great the rest of the way. I've got his stats. We'll talk about the whole stat and everything, but let's kind of go over the game step by step, and then we'll go through a few other things. Both teams had trouble in the red zone. We already said Michigan scored 6 points off of their first drive, which it looked really promising for them. And then they got the interception. They only scored 3 more points, so it was 6-0. But both teams had trouble in the red zone. What do you equate that to, Cheese? The offense for each team, or do you equate that more for the defense of each team?
The defense of each team. That one play, there was even a penalty. Ohio State had like 6-7 chances to get in the goal to go, and it couldn't do it. And then there was a false start, so they had to kick the field goal. I think it's just the defenses. Both defenses have been terrific all year. So I think it says more about the defenses than anything else.
All right, so I want to do a stupid play by a Michigan person and a great play by a Michigan player. Well, look at that sun coming in there on you, man. Look, whoo.
I really need to fix it because it's bothering me.
I mean, you look so bright, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, I just love giving him a hard time. It's great. It's not like we're live or anything. It's not a problem, right?
Yeah, see, when I started this, looked like it was about to storm. The sun wasn't out, so I didn't even worry about it.
You know what? Let's talk about that for a second. You set me up really well. What about the weather? Do you think the weather there in Michigan helped or hurt any team more than the other?
I don't think so, because both teams want to run the football and play defense. So that's the kind of conditions. So I don't think it affected the game at all. If anything, it could hurt the passing game, but it certainly did not hurt Ohio State's passing game.
Absolutely. So I tell you what, as I'm going through my notes, I skipped one. So let me talk about the stutter step. That's what they called it when I was listening to it on Fox by Bo Jackson. He did that stutter step thing as he was coming out of his break, and then they basically ran past him, and then he got down 20-plus yard gain and made it 1st and goal for them. I'm going to combine a question that I've got here with a question that I sent to you earlier. We did do some notes on these. I know. And here's some backstage stuff for everybody. Cheese doesn't do any notes on these kind of things. And I don't think I can do a show without notes, right? You're going to see me look here. You're going to see me look over here. I've got to be kind of structured. So it's going to be a little diverse here as far as how we're going to do this exactly. And I've never done one of these before, as I've already said. So the experienced guy over here is going to keep me along here. But we've always said that Ohio State is wide receiver U. Is Ohio State now running back U too?
Well, certainly they've had some really good backs. Bo Jackson, Bo knows beating Michigan. Bo knows he's never lost to Michigan because he's a true freshman. Incredible game he had.
Yeah.
It's funny. He got them down to the goal line. We just talked about it. And then they took him out and didn't let him finish the drive. Maybe that's why he didn't get that touchdown. But
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously with Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson both drafted in the first 2 rounds. It's kind of becoming that way.
And they got a big transfer, right? I believe from West Virginia, Donaldson. So they really thought he was going to be the guy coming into the season. In fact, Bo Jackson didn't even play in the game against Texas. So, he has steadily come along. And today he got I didn't get the updated stats. I guess I could have it pulled up on one of these computers here somewhere I've got around me. But I know when I started preparing all this stuff at a 2-minute warning, he had 107 yards today. So I think Ohio State had 177 yards total, and Jackson had 107 of them himself. So the team and him both did well.
Yeah, and he split carries, so it's not like 107. And so, but yeah, he had 22 carries, yes, and he had a 36 yard you were talking about. Bo knows stutter step.
Bo knows stutter step. He does.
There we go. It was dark.
There you go. It's okay. It's just it darkens you because you're just such a glow in all of our lives. Every once in a while, it has to put you in the darkness there for a second, just to have us appreciate how nice you look in the light, sir. So. I saw you do your little touchdown thing a second ago. Who scored? You got all the games around.
Tennessee.
Talk to me.
Tennessee just went the whole length field, got a touchdown. Deshaun Bishop, he's been playing outstanding. Torch Florida. He got the touchdown for the Vols. They lead Vandy 6-0.
All right. Keep us updated on all those because I know you do. You can see the background with the television in back of me. I can't show any of the games on that because we don't have the ability to do so without getting tossed off of some of the social media platforms that we are on. So I don't want to do that.
Quick 2 updates. Both LSU and Vanderbilt threw interceptions in the end zone. So they had
end zone.
Yes. That's how Tennessee got the ball back. And then LSU had goal to go and threw a pick in the end zone. So both teams, big for Oklahoma there.
All right. So I promised you one great play and one bad play by Michigan players. Let me deliver on that promise. So number one, he had the number one on his back. Barham, Barham, I believe is how you say it, Barham. He did the stupid thing where he was kind of arguing with the official and his helmet made contact with the official's hat. Yes. They could have thrown him out of the game, but instead that's what led to them getting so many chances down at the goal line and still not being able to get the touchdown. How bad could that play have been, Cheese? And do you think that was any kind of a momentum swing because it kept Ohio State, that drive for Ohio State alive at the goal line?
But don't think it hurt him because I think Ohio State got a field goal anyway.
Correct.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But usually you get kicked out for that.
Yeah.
So he is lucky he didn't get kicked out. So I don't think it ended up being – if Ohio State gets a touchdown like the next play, it would have been devastating. But They did hold him to it. Instead it was – I think it made it 10-6. It would have 14-6 would have sucked. So it didn't hurt too bad, but you can't do that.
So Hillman, I'd love to know if you had him on your radar before this game. I did not, but he made a fantastic play on the goal line where he came across and kept the Ohio State running. He basically stood them up, as it's usually called in college and in NFL football, and then drove him backwards. That was a heck of a play by Hillman from Michigan. Do you remember that play, Cheese?
Oh, absolutely. And Michigan lost a lot of defensive players to last year's draft. So, I do remember that play. Not necessarily really on my radar. Michigan doesn't have any, I don't even know if he's draft eligible. I don't know what his year is, but Michigan doesn't have any real blue chip. I don't even know if they have a first-round pick, to be honest with you, right now. I know we're going to talk about Ohio State in a second, but it was a heck of a play.
So then it was actually Ohio State shooting themselves in the foot. They had a false start. If you remember correctly, they were going to go for it on fourth down for the touchdown. They ended up getting the false start. I can't remember. So it was the guy on the left-hand side of the line.
It was the tight end. It was
the tight end that moved?
It wasn't Claire. It was a backup tight end. I think it was 83. I could be wrong because Claire is number 86, Max Claire. But
he's going to be a person we see on Sundays, I believe, before it's all said and done.
I could talk about that. We'll do that another time.
Yeah, we'll do all that. We'll do all that because you're the draft guy. So I've started, and I said this last time when we were talking the Lights Out Sports podcast, which you can find every Tuesday at 5. Talk to me here, 5 Central, right? Cheese, I get these times mixed up all the time.
The Lights Out podcast every Tuesday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time.
5 Pacific. Okay.
Yes.
I'll tattoo it on my arm or something. I'll just have to look at it that way.
I wouldn't.
No, you don't think so? You don't think? Well, because that'll change, right? I'll have to get a new tattoo when the time changes. So
Arizona just never changes. Everybody else does. I'm with Arizona. It should just stay. But whatever.
I'm with you. So they got a 24-yard field goal. Michigan was then up 6-3. Michigan went 3 and out, mostly because of a holding penalty, and then that was the end of the first quarter. The fourth down touchdown to Smith, that 35-yard deal where it looked like, oh man, what are they doing? They're going for it on fourth down. I was a little worried. The Ohio State guy over here crossing his fingers. And what made that play work so well, Cheese?
Well, when it's fourth and short, you're going to get man-to-man coverage, usually on the wide receivers. And you're going to put a safety over top Jeremiah Smith on most plays. You're not going to let him beat you. But on something like that, you're probably going to get man coverage. So that's fourth and short's like the best time to throw deep, but it's risky. It reminded me of the Holy Buckeye 2002 Craig Krenzel against Purdue through Mike Jenkins on 4th and 1. You're like, oh, I remember watching him like, what is he doing? Oh, okay, good. Perfect pass, Craig Krenzel, touchdown. And if they don't beat Purdue, they don't even win the Big Ten that year. But I'll say this about the play. It might have been a touchback. They called it a touchdown the field.
I thought you would say I wasn't. Yeah.
He bobbled it. It was so close, and I understand why they went to call on the field. Gun to my head, I probably would have said it's a touchback, but because they went with a touchdown on the field, I think that's why they kept it.
So I didn't really understand it all the way, and I know you can help myself. And if our fans are kind of in the same spot that I was, I didn't understand how it was a touchback necessarily, because he did regain control. So if you regain control, how can it be a touchback?
Well, he regained control, but what they were saying was his foot may have stepped out as he regained control. Like it stepped out first before he regained control. If that's happened, it's a touchback. But he did regain control. The question was, did his foot touch? And I think it was just really tough to see when. So I absolutely understand why they kept the call on the field. And would it have changed the outcome? Probably not, but it would have made it a closer game, probably 10-9 at halftime, not 17-9. So we'll never know. But I get why they kept the call on the field.
All right. So then at the end of the game, or at the end of the half, as you're already alluding to there, they hit a touchdown. Was it Carnell Tate? No. Was it Smith? No. It ends up being Enis, right? The third, or maybe even the fourth receiver. Ohio State has so darn many weapons, especially on offense. I don't know how Michigan was able to cover all of them, and I guess obviously they didn't. But when you're looking at a team like Ohio State, Cheese, and you're the defensive coordinator, what things can you do to cover all of these different? I mean, we three great receivers, a great running back, a second pretty good running back. How in the world do you cover everybody?
A really good tight end.
And a really good tight end,
Two of the best receivers in the country, another pretty good receiver. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Ask Wink Martindale. No, it's not much you can do. You can play zone, hope you don't make mistakes, hope you don't miss assignments, and hope you can tackle. But that touchdown was brilliant. I absolutely loved it. It's 3rd and 3 from, I think, the 4. And that's when you call your best play. It was a brilliant play. What they did was, if people out there watching didn't see it, Max Clare, the tight end, kind of ran the same route, but ran it deeper. And there was no pick. He never touched the Michigan defender, but basically Enis, I think it's Enis, but I could be wrong. He runs underneath it, the same route, so he's wide open. It was a brilliant play call down in the red zone. It was just an easy touchdown on 3rd and 3. So, I love that play call.
I got to bring up another guy. We brought up 2 guys for Michigan. I want to bring up a guy for Ohio State, and I want you to give us your draft expert analysis on him, because I know he's there because I'm an Ohio State guy, and I've watched pretty much every snap all year long. I've probably seen 90% of their snaps in every game. Mm-hmm. Arvell Reese. Talk to me about Arvell Reese. He made a heck of an impression on me there towards the end of that first half. Talk to me about what you think he's going to mean to the NFL and what he means to Ohio State as a whole.
He's one of the best off-ball linebackers probably for the draft in many years, maybe since Luke Kuechly. I mean, he's just so explosive, so fast. And there's some people think he could be an edge rusher in the NFL because he's so athletic, he's so long. He's an absolute stud. If he played a more premium position, he might be the favorite to go number 1. I do not think he's going first because he's an off-ball linebacker, unless you're for sure you think he can be a pass rusher, but he's just an absolute monster, and he's big too. Like but a lot of linebackers are like 6'1", 230. He's 6'4", 245, 250, no problem.
Yeah, and they said he could bench press 500 pounds.
I believe that, but he's definitely. You know me, when I did my draft rankings, I put Ashton Jeanty number 1 because I didn't do it for positional value. Reese is definitely in my top 3 right now. I haven't done it, but he would be. That's how good he is.
I'm going to look it up real quick as you're probably watching me type here. Something tells me he is – I don't think he's draft eligible this coming season, is he? Is he? Am I wrong?
Yes, he is draft eligible. So he's got to be at least a junior. I know he's draft eligible.
Yep. I know. You're right. He's a junior.
I know he's draft eligible because a lot of draft analysts talk about it all over X. So I know he's draft eligible. Although people talk about Jeremiah Smith, like how high he's going to go in 2027, even though he's not draft eligible. So.
Yeah, excellent. And just to throw this out there, since I looked him up real quick, he's from Cleveland, Ohio. Maybe that gives him some kind of a connection to go to a team in the NFL for it's all
said. So is Bo Jackson.
Oh, very good. See, all kinds of knowledge on these.
I looked up Bo Jackson like right after that run. I looked up everything about him. I was like, who is this dude? This guy's so good.
Yep. And a true freshman, as you've already said.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So at halftime, we go into 17-9 at halftime. So I was really hoping that Ohio State would put this game away with the first play of the second half, because they got the ball back first play and they come in and lay an egg. And it was another one of those times, Cheese, where I was worried. So is that more coaching when you come out of the locker room and you lay an egg like that, or is that still the players and how they execute?
It could be both. You always want to come at a halftime when you get the ball and score. You want to make adjustments. So, but they also, you're playing a good defense. Maybe they didn't execute, but yeah, they did go 3 and out. But here's the thing. I know you were worried. I don't have a rooting interest, but the way it was going, I never was worried for Ohio State. And the reason is they got ahead. Michigan they can't do big plays in the passing like Ohio State can. They have a quarterback who threw for 63 yards. They don't have the ability to make the plays down the field in their passing game. So, and Ohio State does. So Michigan could not get behind. They had to do what they did last year. Keep it low scoring, keep it close, stay ahead, try to win in the fourth quarter. And then they got behind. And they were down 8 at halftime. You couldn't be down. You had to at least be like 10-9, maybe down 1. You had to be right there. And once they got behind, they were in trouble. And Michigan, just as a team, they have this big power running game. They beat all the teams they should this year, and they lost to the 3 teams that were better than them. That's the way they're built right now without an elite passing quarterback. He's a true freshman, Bryce Underwood, but that's basically what Michigan is. They have a good defense. They have a good running game, but in these big games, you need big passing plays. They don't have it.
Yeah, let me see. Let me find it in my notes here. I know it was written out to the side. With about 2 minutes left in the first quarter, Underwood was 2 of 4 for 16 yards. So, yeah, just not good enough whatsoever. But, something's happened. Tell us.
Tennessee fumbled and gave up a touchdown right after.
So what's the score in that game? 7-7?
7-6 point incoming.
All right. So I want to do this for our people. We thank you a lot. We just went over 100 people with us live on our Lights Out Sports podcast of Ohio State versus Michigan, the instant reaction. And we appreciate you, each and every one of you. So then I think one of the turning points of the game was when Michigan goes to punt the ball away. And to be honest, I didn't see what happened because I was eating. So I was doing something else real fast. I ran away and came back. I was like, they're going to punt it. I got a couple seconds. And then I come back, and they only punted the ball like 10 yards.
10 yards.
Yes.
Maybe the weather was a factor then. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I talked over top of you, sir. What'd you say, Chief?
No, go ahead. Listen, maybe the weather was a factor in that, but it was a 10-yard punt. It was awful.
Yeah, I come back, and it's like, wait a minute, what happened there? Did they punt the ball? Did they try for a fake and miss it? What happened? And then Joel and the guys there told me that it was a 10-yard punt. So I think that was a pretty big turning point in the game as well. I should have just paused it and went and did what I needed to do and come back. But I don't know why I didn't. Mike
Ballantyne would have punted it further than that.
That's true.
He's at least good for a 16 or 17-yard punt.
Probably so, actually. I'm pretty fat, but it takes powerful legs to hold up all this weight. So I got at least one of those. So yeah, I probably could have done that. So OSU holds up. Then there's the 50-yard touchdown to Tate over the middle. What happened there, Cheese?
So the corner let him go, and the safety didn't pick him up. So one of two things happened: either the safety just whiffed, or maybe maybe the safety. I have to see the play again, but maybe he thought he was double teaming Jeremiah Smith. Maybe it was Jeremiah Smith effect, but he was wide open in the middle of the field. So either the corner should have stayed with him, or the safety should have picked him up. Neither happened. So you can't leave Carnell Tate wide open in the middle of the field. You just can't do that. No. So just a total defensive breakdown for Michigan.
So I want to talk to you about this too, because we'll talk about saying a little bit more here in a couple seconds. But to be able to see that play develop, that's not something that happens every day, right? So as you're evaluating quarterbacks and stuff, as I know you do for your channel, Football with Cheese on YouTube, when that happens and you know that the quarterback sees it, what does that say to you about that particular quarterback, if anything?
Well, it was a perfect pass. He hit him right in stride, hit him on the hands. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
wide open. But a lot of times quarterbacks, they see someone open, they kind of get inaccurate. They're like, oh, I don't need to. They kind of loft it, It
Right,
was just
or they panic.
Yeah, it was a perfect pass. The earlier to Jeremiah Smith, that was a perfect pass on 4th down. So clutch. So, yeah, it was a great play. Yeah, Julian saying, minus that interception, that first drive, he was outstanding.
Excellent. I like it when you tell me that Ohio State players are outstanding. That is fantastic. So kind of the last thing that I have, and I put it at 5:06 in the third quarter, because to be honest, from then on out, I think Ohio State really dominated this game. It became kind of a lopsided game with Ohio State just beating them down. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a big Ohio State guy. It's just, even if I'd have been a Michigan guy, I'd have been like, yeah, they're just killing us right now. Trust me, I've had to admit all kinds of times, because I'm a Cardinals NFL fan and a Bengals NFL fan, when other teams are just beating us down, right? So I've had some pretty good experience at that this year.
Not Thursday night.
No, and hopefully not for the rest of the year, and we'll see what happens there. But yeah,
we'll talk about that Tuesday.
We will. I have a lot to say about it, and I'm sure
we will. That will be part of the NFL notes. What happened on Thursday night?
Yes, it will. I can't wait to talk about it, because I tell you what, we won't. This is not an NFL show, but I was looking at the slate of football games. I'm not even sure if I'm going to really watch much. I just may do highlights, man. There's not like a standout football game to me on Sunday.
Well, there's already been 4 games.
Right, I get that.
So there's already been 4 games, and some of them were just really good picks. But yeah, we're going to talk about the AFC North on Tuesday, because if Pittsburgh loses, holy crap, it's going to get really interesting.
You mean when Pittsburgh loses?
If Aaron Rodgers is back, you never know.
Okay, if you think Aaron Rodgers is their savior, I've got some oceanfront property here in Arizona that I'd like to sell you, sir.
He's better than Mason Rudolph. But here, the big problem for the Steelers, we're getting off a little bit, is they traded George Pickens. Whoops.
Yeah.
They need him.
A big problem for
that. Ooh, that was a mistake. Okay. Yeah.
So in the third quarter, at about 5 minutes and 6 seconds, it was actually my last note for the game. I put, the only thing keeping Michigan in this game is Ohio State penalties. Yeah. Would you agree with that?
Pretty much. Like you said, the fourth quarter, Ohio State they kind of wore Michigan down. We're just pound them, run right at them. And it worked. They were on the field way more than Michigan. And that's a smart thing. You want to keep your defense off the field. They have a big game next week. So, but yeah, the fourth quarter was kind of boring. But, of course, we watched every snap. But, yeah, they made some dumb penalties. But Michigan just did not have any passing game whatsoever. They're one-dimensional. And Ohio State knew that. So that's the big difference.
So let's do this then. Let's okay, the game's over. I've got a quote that I want to talk to you about when we end the whole show from Ryan Day. I can't wait, because you said you didn't see the interview that he did with Jenny Taft. I was watching it as I'm typing and preparing all the notes and everything else for this. And I know you went over to watch the Tennessee games. Go ahead and give us an update real quick. What's going on in the rest of the games? But they tell scores.
Well, that one's a commercial. Okay. Oklahoma's up 3-0 on LSU. Oregon is up 3-0 on Washington, and they have the ball back. In Tennessee, it's still 7-7. Tennessee, got the ball back after the touchdown. So those are the 3 big games going on right now.
Okay, so we've got those 3 games, and then they're big games. All 3 of them have great implications for the rest of the season.
Yes.
So I know I won't try to keep you on here for a long time, because I know you want to watch those games as well. But we promised our fans this, and they're delivering. Like I said, over 100 people are with us right now live, and we appreciate each and every one of you. So what is next for each one of these teams? Let's talk Michigan first. What's next for Michigan?
Well, Michigan, they'll go to a bowl game. It's their 3rd loss. No chance to make the playoff. Even with a win, it would have been tough. So Michigan's just got to try to win their bowl game and just improve next year their passing game. Fortunately for Michigan, they don't lose a ton. I really don't know if even they'll have a top 50 pick. It's crazy to say, because usually, they usually have like 2 guys in the top 15 every year. Mason Graham went 5th last year. Kenneth Grant went 13th. They always have guys up there, but they just got to regroup and go after next year. They've got to improve the passing game, whether it's Underwood or someone else.
Sure. I want to, I don't like Michigan because, I inherently can't like them because I'm an Ohio State guy, but I do want to give them a little bit of hope for the future. So as you're saying, they're probably not going to lose a whole lot. They've got a pretty good running game. They've got a. What about their offense and defensive line? Where would you put them grade wise? A, B, C, D. I mean, are we going to give them like an average grade, a little above or a little below?
No, they're good on the lines. The defensive line obviously isn't as good as last year because it was so amazing, but
yeah,
it's still good. They still have good defensive tackles, just not as good as Grant and Graham. Because how are you? 2 of the top 13 picks in the draft. Yeah. Have they been great in the NFL? Maybe not so great so far, but you never know. But yeah, they're not bad on the lines, and against inferior opponents, they absolutely dominated, and they controlled the line last year when they beat Ohio State. Not so much this year, not at all. But no, their lines are fine. That's not the biggest issue. Biggest issue is they don't have a quarterback and pass the ball very well. I know he's a true freshman, but if he doesn't improve, they might have to go out and get someone that can, because you can't be one-dimensional, expect to beat top 5 teams.
Well, they don't really have a good receiver either, right? I mean, so he doesn't have a whole lot of help. He doesn't have a great tight end. I mean, there was really not a whole lot there on offense, right?
Not a whole lot, but they have some good backs. Yeah.
They Marshall, have a good running game. I know he went out of the game, but they do still have a good back, and I don't believe he's going to go out in the draft, so they should have him come next year.
They have Kudzel?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he didn't do a whole lot. And Underwood can run. Didn't do much in the game either, but he's a very mobile quarterback. That's his style. But, they just got to improve the offense. They had to improve the offense. They did not beat a ranked team this year, and the big reason is they couldn't score.
All right. So they'll go to a decent bowl game, and I'll hope for them to lose. Now let's go to Ohio State here. Let's not go to the NFL draft, okay? So let's talk about next week. Yeah, I don't want to do that quite yet, right? We'll do that on another show.
Okay. All right.
The notes come into play, sir.
All right.
So next week they will play Indiana in Indianapolis, which I think might be it's going to be like a home crowd for Indiana almost, because it's right there in Indianapolis. I mean, I guess that's not far away from Columbus. So
Ohio State's going to have as many fans as just as many or more than Indiana. Trust me.
Okay.
It's not like Indiana just because you're closer, you get the tickets. Sponsors you the tickets. Both teams get tickets. So I think there's a good chance Ohio State even has even more fans. So I think it's pretty neutral.
Okay, well that's interesting. So what do you mean by they basically divide the stadium up and they give each college so many tickets? Is that how it works?
I'm not 100%, but
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, sir.
No, I'm not 100%, but yeah, that's simply what you do. You give fan bases. I think it's something like this is a guess, but I think I read this years ago that a third of the tickets go to one school, a third of the other, and then the rest of it goes to sponsors or local people or whoever. Maybe the Colts organization, maybe they get some. I don't know. The Big Ten in general, but. And I know that in bowl games they do, and you get a certain amount of tickets, and if you don't, you send it back, and the other team gets a chance to buy more. That's not going to happen, obviously, but I think it's going to be a neutral site. I don't think just because it's closer. Maybe travel is better, but I don't think it's going to make any difference whatsoever. And how often do you get to see number 1 versus number 2 undefeated in the country play each other? I mean, it's going to be insane. And the winner, guaranteed, the number 1 seed in the playoff.
Well, yeah, because number 3 went down. So I was thinking this to myself as you said it. I'm like, now, wait a minute. There's got to be a way somebody else can get it. But no, I think you're 100% right. I wasn't thinking about that till just now. Yeah, whoever wins that game, Big Ten, winner of the Big Ten, which is big enough in itself, and then number 1 in the college football playoff.
The big question is the loser number 2 seed? Because do they bump someone up like Georgia? But let's say Georgia doesn't play in the SEC title game, which is probably not happening.
Right.
Do you really bump them up when they had a loss? They lost to Alabama at home. Neither Ohio State nor Indiana lost in the regular season. They're both 12-0. So honestly, I think the loser is the 2 seed. We'll see.
That's going to be interesting. We'll need to talk about that more on the Lights Out Sports podcast on Tuesday because, that's going to be really, really interesting. I mean, the regular season has to mean something, right?
Absolutely. And last year, the committee didn't punish teams for playing bad or losing in the title games. So I'm assuming they won't do it this year. So how can they not be the 1 and 2 seeds? They're the only undefeated teams, and they're in a Power 4 conference. How can they not be 1 and 2 seed no matter what? Even if one team wins by like 3 touchdowns, I still don't think it matters, which I don't think it's going to happen. It's be closer to that. But what's next for Ohio State is Ohio State, Indiana. I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to watch it.
Are you going to watch that game?
The whole
game?
I'm going to tune in. I'm going to tune into that game. Yeah.
So one of the big knocks on Ohio State, while we're talking about them for a moment, from a lot of the media perspective and everything, was Ohio State's not been tested yet. Ohio State's not played a fantastic team as of yet. Mm-hmm. Did you consider today's game a test for them, or would you still be with everybody else and say Ohio State has not yet been tested?
I think they've been tested. I think this, they didn't win 17-14. They won 3 scores. They played Texas in week 1. They beat them. So it's not the hardest schedule in the country, no doubt about it, but I don't think so. And if you say they haven't been tested, well, they're going to get tested this week coming up. So.
Yeah, that was where I was going with this question. Yeah. So, yes, they'll be tested by Indiana in that Big Ten championship game, obviously. It'll be Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, by the way. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to work a double shift that day still, or if I'm going to come home early and try to watch the game. I always record it, watch it when I get home, but do I skate out of work a little early and watch? Well, I can't talk about this too much because I might have to get sick or something. So anyway, we can't be having work people watch this. Daggone it.
Tennessee is now losing. I don't know what they're doing.
You'll be as heartbroken as I would have been if Ohio State would have lost today.
Just don't lose to Vandy. You don't lose to Vandy.
Right. We haven't had anybody comment on us. Man, you guys can comment right along with us. We do have the comment window open. This is a live show, as you see up in the top right-hand corner. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, I also want to do a little bit here really quickly. I don't want to take a ton of time with it, but I do want to do this. I do want to talk about Battle Bites. You can fuel your battle there with Battle Bites. They're our best and sponsor right at the moment. You can go to fuelyourbattle.com and type in the word All Gloves Off 10. That's All Gloves Off 10, and get 10% off of your order with them every single time, not just the first time. And the last thing I want to say about them is that they do all of their, not all, but they do 10% of the profits that they make, and they give that to the Wounded Warrior Foundation. So you can save 10% with us, and you can feel great about those purchases knowing that 10% of it also goes to the Wounded Warrior Foundation. All right, so not sure if Ohio State's been tested. They will be tested come Saturday. Let's talk about that game for a moment here. So we said that Michigan doesn't have much of a passing game. That's not the way it is with Indiana, right?
That is not the way it is with the Indiana. They have a great passing game, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Well, 2 of the best quarterbacks in the country in this game, probably 2 of the top 3. So, Indiana definitely has a passing game. It's the best team that Ohio State has faced so far this year, but it's also the best team that Indiana has faced so far this year. By far the best defense. This is not Illinois' defense where they can put up like 50-some points, no problem. So it's going to be a test for both teams. I'm really looking forward to it.
All right. I won't ask you to make any picks or anything like that yet. We'll wait on that. We'll probably do that during the Lights Out Sports podcast on Tuesday.
We'll do that.
Okay. So I do want to talk about Coach Day with the Ohio State Buckeyes here. The Buckeyes and Coach Day have gone 16-0 since the last loss to Michigan, if you count all the playoff games and everything else. And that means that they have also gone 7-0 against ranked opponents. So here's my question to you for all of this. Where is Ryan Day in the order of current college coaches? Where does he fall? I mean, is he top 10? Is he top 5? Is he top 3? Is he 1 or 2? Where does Ryan Day fall in the current landscape of college football coaches?
Oh, he's definitely top 5, right? I mean, first of all,
I think he has to be, but you don't have
he's won a national
title like I do.
He won a national title. He won 4 straight games to do it. He's undefeated this year. I mean, we'll see. What happens end of the year. If he wins a national title again this year and doesn't lose a single game doing it, he's up there in the top 2 for sure. But yeah, he's got to be. And this was the thing. I think he beat Michigan his first year and hadn't beat him since. But He just won at Michigan, convincing win. He has to be up there, top 5, maybe probably top 3. I mean, he's done a great job there. Yeah, they have a ton of talent, but that's part of coaching. You get the best talent.
Right. So he's a good recruiter too. He's a good coach and he's a good recruiter.
By the way, 8 Eastern is the game on Saturday, according to my buddy. Just messaged me. He starts at 8 Eastern.
Maybe it was 6 my
6
time.
Your time, yes. Because you have trouble with time zones. 6 your time.
I do. I really do.
7 my time. And 5 bully time. We'll just say bully time, Pacific.
Bully time.
If he's watching, probably not.
I'm sure he'll watch sometime. If he's not watching right now, he'll watch it later.
It's on the same time as the ACC championship, but I have 2 TVs.
That's good. That's good. All right. So he's gone Ryan Day 16-0 against everybody. Not lost a game since the last time he lost to Michigan. Gone 7-0 against ranked opponents in all of those times, including those college playoffs where he beat, Notre Dame, Oregon,
Tennessee.
There we go. Thank you for the third one.
I believe Texas as well. Wow, that's good. Wait, hold on. They beat Tennessee, Oregon, Texas, and Notre Dame. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It really is. And then he turned around.
Close. Some of them weren't even close.
No, I think all of those wins were double-digit wins, if I remember correctly.
They pretty much blew out Oregon, Tennessee, and then won by 2 scores against Notre Dame and Texas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So which is more important, the coaching job that he has done on his way to winning the national title, or the coaching job that he's done this year after losing 8 players to the NFL draft just on defense?
I think this year, because I think you agree. They're not as good as they were last year, despite being undefeated. I don't think anybody's as good.
That. You're right.
There's no one as good as Ohio State was last year. I don't think there's anyone close. So that's why it could be a free-for-all more so in the playoff. But no, I think he's done a better job coaching this year because they had to replace a lot of starters. They replaced a lot of offensive linemen too. Mm-hmm. They lost 3 starting offensive linemen at least, maybe 4. So, yeah, I think he's done a great job this year.
Okay. I mean, and you know it as well as I do because we spoke about it. There were people who wanted him fired because he can't beat Michigan. How insane is that, Cheese? I mean, really.
We talked about it on the podcast. Chris Brazzell, touchdown, Tennessee, 52 yards. Okay. We talked about it. It's insane. There was literally people on X after the national championship game said, this is great, but he better beat Michigan next year or he's fired. That's great. Oh, he won the national title, but you can't lose to Michigan. That's crazy. Some Ohio State fans, a bunch of them. Some of them are just insane. It's like if you don't beat Michigan, they want you gone, period. So,
and I just think that adds to Ryan Day right at the moment because the pressure that guy had to feel today to win this game had to be immense.
And Ohio State, I'll give him credit. He's the leader of the team because he's the coach. They never panicked. They got down two quick scores. Well, two field goals, 6-0, but gave up a field goal, quick interception, 6-0. No panic. There was absolutely no panic at all from Ohio State on offense or defense. So, yeah, you got to give Ryan Day credit.
All right. So, it's not just Ryan Day that does this. I think this will be an interesting question for you because he has some NFL ties and you do a lot of NFL and college as well. So I've only got 3 more things here and then we'll wrap everything up. But 2 of them I'm really curious to get your reaction on, and this is one of them. Will Matt Patricia get a chance at either a head coaching job in college next year, or will he get something in the NFL next year? What do you think about that?
Better chance to get a college job. I don't think he kind of reminds me of Lane Kiffin, who's all over every halftime. They're not talking about the games. They're talking about, where will Lane Kiffin go? But both of them it was just a terrible disaster as an NFL head coach. The players did not like him. It did not work. I think both are suited better as a college coach. Lane Kiffin's had success. I think Patricia, could be fine as a college head coach. He's a great defensive coordinator. He was a great defensive coordinator in the NFL. When he coached the Lions, a lot of people in that building hated him. Let's just say that.
So we're really trying to add some stuff here to All Gloves Off Sports Media. You may see some new podcasts and stuff pop up and everything else. We are really trying to expand this brand. And because we're doing that, I've got a lot of contacts right at the moment, and I'm using a lot of people. So you're going to hear it here first. 128. That's going to be the number from what I hear. And Lane Kiffin is going to go to LSU. His contract will be roughly $128 million for several years. So there you go.
I just real quick.
Mm-hmm.
If he was going to stay at Ole Miss, he would have already stayed at Ole Miss. He would have just already said and took their $120 million contract, which is what a rumor they offered him.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he's, I'll make a decision later, that tells me he's negotiating with LSU. He's negotiating a contract, and he just wants to make sure it's not dumb, but we'll talk about it Lights Out podcast. I have a lot of thoughts on if he should, and we'll talk about it on Tuesday.
We may as well. I don't know. We may have to do some kind of, and I was going to ask you, I wasn't really going to do it live, but let's do it live. Why not, right? Do you want to do something college football wise on Monday when all the smoke clears and everything's all down, and we'll do everything before the Tuesday stuff comes out and everything else?
Yeah, because if we don't, we'll spend an hour and a half talking college football alone.
Yes, we will.
We can go. Depending on the time. Let's see. We can go live on Monday. At least just talk, even just 20, 30 minutes about that situation.
20, 30 minutes with the two of us. Come on, 20, 30 minutes.
We got at least some college football for the. Oh wait, the Monday Night Football, Giants Patriots.
Yes, we got to talk about that crappy game.
We're not doing a watch along. Sorry, guys. We're not.
No, we're not.
No, that's fine. We'll do something on Monday. So anyone, make sure you are subscribed here to the channel. All glows off and hit the bell, because Monday we're going to do a little bit of college football so that the Tuesday podcast isn't 3 hours.
Well, it might still be, but we don't want it to be 4 hours. So
there you go.
All right. So today's game, 177 total rushing yards. 117 of them by Jackson. We've talked about how important he is. Let's talk about Sayin real quick. 19 of 26, 233 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception today. Here's my question, sir. I think Sayin is in the top 3 of the Heisman quarterback or Heisman race. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think he's top 3. I would probably put him 3rd if I was voting.
Okay. What does he have to do to win the Heisman Trophy between now and the end of the season?
He has to absolutely torch Indiana and be way better than Fernando Mendoza.
Indiana's quarterback.
Indiana's quarterback, because I think Mendoza's the favorite right now. I think Jeremiah Love second. That's why I list. I don't know what the voters do. Jeremiah Love running back second. Yeah, and I have Sayin third. But yeah, I think he just has to come out and play amazing. And I think he could leapfrog 3-1. If he throws 4 touchdowns, no picks, way outplays Mendoza, then there's a good chance he will win it, to be honest. I still think a quarterback's probably going to win it, even though Jeremiah Love's having an amazing year. Quarterbacks typically get the benefit of the doubt. So,
okay. Yeah,
he just has to way outplay him, and Ohio State absolutely has to win.
Okay, so you're playing into my follow-up question to this. After this one, I'll have one more question, and then we'll be done with this. Trying to keep it under an hour. It looks like we will. So Sayin against, the two quarterbacks are going to battle. Okay, what you got? Go ahead and tell me.
Looks like Diego just threw a pick for Vandy. Yes, interception, Tennessee.
He's fallen down the board already for the Heisman Trophy. Keeps that up.
Yep.
All right. So not only is it Ohio State versus Michigan, it's almost the two quarterbacks versus each other over the weekend too. So as we talk about this, right, and we've got on both of our boards, it's going to be 1 Indiana quarterback, 3 Ohio State quarterback. Love is in the middle. Mm-hmm. So Love is not going to play anymore until we get to the college football playoff. Does that hurt him?
He's going to play Stanford tonight.
Well,
probably torch him.
Right.
Yeah, I think it will hurt him. I do. Notre Dame just needs to join a conference, but that's a topic for another day. But yeah, that'll hurt him. So I think it will come down to probably those two quarterbacks, no matter what. But he'll get a lot of votes. But yeah, it will hurt him. But that's it's his fault for going to Notre Dame and then not in the conference. Too bad.
So do you think if Indiana goes on and they become the number 1 seed, it really puts their quarterback at the top? And then the same thing with Ohio State right now before we start the college football playoff?
I think Mendoza would have it right now. So, yeah, if Indiana wins, very, very likely he wins the Heisman Trophy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, we thank you very much. Go over to BattleBites, fuelyourbattle.com, put in our code AllGlovesOff10. You can get 10% off of your stuff there. We got some more sponsors coming soon. I'm talking with several people. I'm just lining everybody up. So when we're doing stuff like this and over 130 of you are with us live, then it starts to get people's attention, and we appreciate you doing that for us. Here is the final question for you. I'm going to put some music on in the background to kind of usher us out. All right. There was a quote Ryan Day gave to, I believe it's Jenny Taft, the female reporter that's the sideline down there for Fox. I know it's Jenny. I think her last name's Taft.
Okay.
She asked him, what are you going to do today, right? You just beat Michigan. How are you going to enjoy this? I want you to go back and look at it. I thought Ryan Day was going to cry. Ryan Day looks into the camera and gets emotional, and he says this quote, and I want to get your reaction to this quote. He says, "We are going to win with humility." What do you think he's talking about there? And how good of a, what is he saying to his players?
Don't get cocky. Don't say what Jeremiah Love said before the season about just don't talk smack. You don't need to give them billboard material. I think that's what he's talking about.
So it's not necessarily anything to the nation. It's more personal to him, his coaching staff, and his team.
I think he knows he's got he probably has the best team in the country. I mean, yeah. So he just knows, like, don't, just keep doing what we're doing. Don't run your mouth. Let's get it done. And
there's a difference in knowing that you have the best team in the country and saying that you have the best team in the country, right?
You don't want to hear it. He does not want his players to say anything stupid. Billboard material, trust me, it's big. It's big. People run their mouth. And it's really done. Touchdown Tennessee. Back ahead. Are we doing the poll? Are we doing the poll question?
Yeah, you know what? I did throw a poll question out there. I only put it on for one day. I really meant to do more than one day, and then it wouldn't let me do it any more than the one day. So let me get this out and let's see where we're at. Right at the moment, only got because we got 22 more hours to do. We'll do this again on the Lights Out Sports podcast as well. We'll do a follow-up on it. But for everybody who's with us live right at the moment, you can go to our Twitter spot, which is All Gloves Off SM. So we're called All Gloves Off Sports Media. We had to shorten it down a little bit for the Twitter address, so it's All Gloves Off SM. You can go over there right now and vote on this poll question. How many NFL first-round picks will Ohio State have in the upcoming NFL draft? It's 1 or 2, 3 or 4, 5 or more. So, Cheese, which one of those three would you pick? 1 or 2, 3 or 4, 5 or more?
3 or 4. I think it's 3 or 4. So that was an easy one for me. Arvell Reese and Caleb Downs, Carnell Tate, I think are locks right now, unless something crazy happens. And then I'm not sure about Caden McDonald and Sonny Styles. Those are the two that late first to mid second. So 3 locks. So I'd say 3 to 4. Okay.
And the thing on this question is first round, by the way. That's the way it's written. First round, not total draft picks. So, Ohio State fans, don't be freaking out right now going, we got a ton of people that are going to get drafted. Yes, you do, but not a ton of people in the first round. So that's the way it was phrased. So 1 or 2 is getting 31%. 5 or more is at 25% currently. And Cheese is with the majority of our voters right now at 44% with 3 or more. So, as we always say here, hey, we appreciate each and every one of you. Cheese, I appreciate you. This was your idea to come on and do this. We talked about it, and I'm glad we did. And so are about 150 of our fans right now that are with us live. So I'm sure we'll get a whole bunch more views on this. You can go over to our channel. It is All Gloves Off Sports Media on YouTube. And then, Cheese, let's plug yours one more time. Where can they get you both on X and on Twitter, buddy?
On X is at Football Cheese, CHEEZ. And on my YouTube is Football with Cheese. Like you said, you can only have a certain length on X. So it's Football Cheese on X and then Football with Cheese, CHEEZ on YouTube.
What was the latest video that you just did? I know you did one yesterday, right?
Yeah, I decided to instant react to the Eagles-Bears game. It really shocked me. The Eagles probably played as bad as you could possibly play. Didn't show up. Looked like the coaching didn't have any game plan. The players were lethargic. As my dad texted me, that's a good word. I would never have come up with myself. But they weren't in the game at all. And it just shocked me because the defending champs just – it was a disaster. So I made a reaction to that. So make sure you check that video and comment because I want to hear what you think about the Eagles play yesterday.
Can you guys hear? My wife is home, by the way. So yes, you can hear the dogs in the background. But I appreciate you guys. I know Cheese does as well. Thank you for being on this with us for the Lights Out Sports Podcast, instant reaction to Ohio State versus Michigan. I think you guys have shown us that we may have to do a few more of these. So again, we appreciate
this weekend.
Yes,
next weekend.
Thank you guys very much.
Yeah.
Yes, and as we always say, the only thing that's fair in life is a baseball hit between the first and third base line. Good evening, everyone. Appreciate each and every one of you, and we'll go out to this. And this.